Good welcome to you, Grand Marshal enthusiasts and BeamNG players alike. My name is UsernameHere, joined by my co-commentator Devion, and welcome to episode 9 of our Grand Marshal Grand Tournament.
As everybody can see, we're back for another episode in which we will find out which is the best Grand Marshal out there.
Yes, indeed. This tournament has been going on for quite a while, and there are a lot of hefty competitors looking to break out from the ranks and try to claim that title for themselves.
And with our introduction done, we will now start introducing the rest of the cars.
Indeed. In the first place position, tied for first in the point standings, we have the Mississippi State Trooper car. Very hefty competitor, really rose through the ranks and has fought hard, but is looking to find that first place position in the face of his, I'm tripping over my words a little bit, that's okay, looking to break out from the ranks despite the fact that he is tied up with the police interceptor car just behind him. It is a very hefty battle for first, ladies and gentlemen. Both of these cars have 7 points, and both of them have been fighting together a couple times, but mostly against each other in order to claim that title for themselves. In the third place position, our underdog, we have Fairhaven City, hailing from the Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012 game. A very nice car, very nice competitor, had a couple of very nice victories, but unfortunately he still has a ways to go in terms of the point standing in order to reach that first place position. And he also has a lot of competition to make it through if he is going to have any chance of winning this tournament. And replacing the Louisiana State Police car hailing from the city of New York itself, Devion's own place of residence, we have the New York City school safety vehicle. Yes, crashing into a school bus up there. Actually makes it. No, never mind, plot twist, I lied, he fell off. Yes, New York City Police Department School Safety Interceptor, sporting a very nice black and white color scheme as opposed to the normal white and blue that you would normally have on a New York City Police Interceptor. He will be taking the fourth place position here in terms of the lineup, and he will maybe be a good competitor, or maybe he'll be eliminated next episode. Either way, he is our newcomer, but he's going to have a lot of ground to make up in order to make a name for himself here in this tournament.
So yeah, this is the school safety car, which UsernameHere decided to dox me while explaining it. As you can see, there is that's a unit number, and
Hey man, wow, I can't believe it's from Minnesota.
Oh, who knows? Maybe it is. It's just
Who knew?
it's
Who
just
knew?
like someplace else, and that is
Police Department, City of Minnesota.
Yep.
City of Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota is a city now.
In
any event, New York City is a very large city, evidenced by the fact that in our fifth place position, we have another car from the city of New York, a retired vehicle from the 90s, the Transit Police car, who currently has 5 points to his name, getting pretty close to the front runners over in the first and second place position in the lineup, but he does have a ways to go before he can manage to seize that first place position. He does have a lot of experience and know-how from the 15-round tournament and the East Coast tournament that he once won. However, it is not proving to be the best help for him in this game, I would say. At the same time, though, he is definitely in it to win it. He just has a lot of ground to make up before he can be considered for the running of the Grand Marshal champion. In the sixth place position, we have wait, what's a taxi doing in here in this Grand Marshal tournament? Oh, that's right, of course. This is not an NYPD vehicle. He is employing some Sneak 100, the vehicle equivalent of Groucho Marx glasses, but in any event, he is the New York City undercover police car who is disguised as a taxi. Yes, you can see that he has Cop 15 lights, so he evidently arrested 1,500 criminals, and he's looking to add the Barstow to that roster of criminals that he's arrested here in this game, currently with no points, but he definitely has some spirit that he will probably be able to use, possibly. However, he does have a lot of very fierce competition to defeat before he can get himself on that point standing.
You know, I noticed that there's a sudden influx of NYPD cars, so we might have like a alliance coming up.
That is true, yes. There could be a bit of a New York alliance. Like I said, New York is a very large city, and we have 3 vehicles from it. And speaking of cities, in the 7th place position, we have the Detroit Police Interceptor, also known as a wallpaper on wheels, in my personal opinion. Some people like it, that's fair, but what matters here is that he currently is in possession of 3 points. As a matter of fact, he is actually catching up to the Fairhaven City Police Interceptor, who is in 3rd place And but he will definitely have a lot of ground to make up, a lot of fierce competition to defeat, and as well as that, he is also located a bit further back in the lineup, so he will have to work extra hard if he wants to make a name for himself here in this tournament. And finally, in the last place position, both literally and figuratively, in a way, representing Team BeamNG.drive itself, we have Belasco City. Based on the real-world Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department, he is has been around for a while, definitely has been around for a while, but doesn't have the points to show for it. Unfortunate for him, however, he has been given many chances by our producers and our judges, and hopefully he will be able to prove that all of those chances were indeed worth it. In any event, that is it for our lineup. Start your engines, activate your sirens, turn on your lights, because round number 25 is about to kick off.
And the cars are going off, starting round 25. I wonder what's going to happen with all those NYPD cars up against each other.
Yes, on one hand, we do have a battle for first between our top three competitors, Fairhaven, the underdog, as well as Mississippi and Police Interceptor, the current leaders. But at the same time, the balance of power could shift as a result of the potential New York City team that could be made here in this game, with Detroit and Belasco rounding out the last positions.
Runners already reached the cinematic corner, and let's see if any overtakes happen here.
Yes, now that we've reached the cinematic corner, it's certainly possible that overtakes could happen. School safety having a bit of a problem trying to challenge Fairhaven. It looks like Transit Police will be taking the 4th position, as well as NYPD Undercover taking the 5th position, just behind School Safety. School Safety manages to hold again.
Oh, Belasco makes an overtake.
Belasco gets an overtake and manages to grab the 7th place position from Detroit, so well done to him. And it looks like School Safety will be losing a couple positions. Pretty unfortunate for him. However, that does mean that Transit Police is now in the 4th position. What do you think about the fact that School Safety has already lost positions despite being in possession of such a sweet light bar?
I think it's pretty unfortunate for him. It's his first round after all, and he's like kind of already in a tough spot to be in.
School Safety is indeed in a very difficult spot. He does appear to be in it to win it, especially due to the equipment he has brought here. It looks like Fairhaven with a bit of a drift, as a matter of fact. All the cars seem to go off the cliff. Never mind. What happened to Transit Police? They went up the hill again. Gosh dang it. NYPD Undercover spins out.
Oh, School Safety can't catch a break here.
School Safety is having a real bit of a problem. Looks like Team New York is having a problem. But here comes Belasco to take advantage of the chaos. They are just behind NYPD Undercover as well now. They're in the 5th place position. And here's Detroit, a collision caused by our co-commentator Devion, so that's a bit unfortunate for Detroit and Transit Police. But yes, it looks like School Safety will be acquiring some of those positions back here in this game.
It looks like his wheel's a bit messed up.
Ooh, despite a lot of damage to its car, though, he is definitely having a really hard time here in this round. I guess you know what they say. What's the opposite of beginner's luck? Beginner's misfortune? Yes, that's a term that I've just coined, ladies and gentlemen.
It looks like we're heading back into the town, which then leads to the beach turn, where
we are now heading into the town. Yes, I fully agree. The beach turn is coming up, and that means it is possible that something could be happening here. Cars could be spinning out, or the runner could be eliminated here and then. That is a bit of a lie. All the cars apparently seem to go just to kind of okay. Fairhaven hits the sand, but that's okay. He didn't hit a rock. He's fine. He's fine. It's all good. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. His car works fine. It's fine. It's all good. Looks like Fairhaven will be removed from the rocks, but unfortunately, it seems like NYPD Undercover just wants to have himself going for a swim. Bit unfortunate for him. What is Fairhaven doing? Here comes Belasco City bumping himself a little bit on the beach turn, and meanwhile, the battle for first here is continuing, ladies and gentlemen. School Safety rounding out the long straight as well. Some of the other cars. Transit Police is just... What? How did Transit Police end up at the front part? What?
Wonder what happened to him.
Transit Police just kind of parked at the start? What? His engine is... There's Fairhaven going by Transit Police. What's Transit Police doing?
I don't know. He's not doing anything at the moment. His engine's on.
Did his AI get disabled somehow? And there's NYPD Undercover skimming by Transit Police, and here's Belasco doing the same thing. What is happening with Transit Police? This is a bit of an interesting round, ladies and gentlemen. I am thoroughly spooked indeed. Mississippi and Police Interceptor battling for first. Fairhaven reaching the cinematic corner. Got a lot of ground to make up, though, if he wants to seize that 5th point for himself. School Safety with a lot of damage. Transit Police is still kind of just... frozen. Don't exactly know what is this. Ooh, Detroit had a bad time at the beach turn. Same with Belasco City, except not at the beach turn. Maybe Transit is like not functional. There's something wrong with Transit.
Yeah, maybe something happened with him. Because like
I noticed his engine seemed like it was off.
Well, his engine's running perfectly fine. You could hear it, but I don't know. Maybe something happened.
What is happening with Transit Police? Could we have some sabotage here, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, it's a bit of a strange course of events. It looks like Mississippi and Police Interceptor though will continue that battle, and Fairhaven is doing his best to catch up to the front runners here. I don't know what's going on with some of the other cars, such as that random. Oh, that's smoke from someone's bumper. I see.
I don't
Whose
know what
bumper is that?
that is. Looks like school safety because it's a
I'd be
black
willing
bumper.
to bet school safety, considering how damaged school safety is. Yeah, Police Interceptor and Mississippi battling for that first position, going down the jump straight. Definitely battling it out because they both want to be the first to make it to 8 points. So what do you think about the dynamic between our two leaders here tied for first?
I think they actually kind of distanced themselves right here through the town, but we all know the runner tends to spin out or lose control over here, so maybe something will
That
happen.
is true, yes. They did put some distance between each other, definitely focusing on the track instead of each other. That is a very wise decision in terms of racing in general as well as police chasing. Fairhaven screaming down the long straight as well, just trying to catch up as best he can.
You know, due to Fairhaven's trunk being a bit damaged, you can notice a nitrous bottle in the back of it.
A nitrous bottle, that's a bit interesting. Bit interesting for Fairhaven, I agree, for them to have a nitrous bottle.
Oh, there he goes.
Also a bit interesting for them to be going off the beach turn.
Looks like he's still fine. He'll back out and get back on the track.
Yeah, he's fine, he's all set. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. And
It looks like Interceptor spun out.
happened with Police Interceptor, yeah. Police Interceptor spins out on the cinematic corner. Fairhaven doing what he can. School safety is somehow still in the game, and Transit Police is still busted as well as NYPD Undercover. Oh, Detroit is somehow back on the track as well. Maybe potentially thanks to Fairhaven, but he kind of has no tires. Belasco also a bit busted somewhere as well as the runner goes down the incline, followed closely by Mississippi, trying to seize that 8th point for himself.
Oh, Fairhaven spun out again.
Fairhaven with another spin out. Something very strange is happening in this round, ladies and gentlemen. NYPD school safety is a bit busted here on the long straight. There's also a bit of an obelisk on the freaking track, so don't worry about that. Transit Police is rolling. What is genuinely happening? Wait, what was that? Go back to Fairhaven. Was there something behind them? Yeah, what is that? Oh, that's just the house. Okay.
Yes, that is the new Grand Marshal that came out in the update.
No, I mean, like, from that angle, doesn't it look like it's not the house at first glance? Doesn't it look like there's something?
True. That's true. But back to the commentary.
Yes. Definitely something really strange happening in this round, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the competitors have been just eliminated for funny business. We got a freaking obelisk on the track. We got Transit with, like, no AI anymore. School safety is busted. Detroit is doing what he can, and meanwhile, the front runners are just battling it out for first. Detroit with his steering busted and maybe going off the cliff. Indeed, unfortunate for Detroit here in this game. Fairhaven skimming a barrier, and Mississippi and Police Interceptor are still trying to seize that point for themselves.
Oh, there's a car in the middle of the track, but it doesn't seem like it affects anyone.
That is true. School safety is now on the middle of the track, kind of in front of the obelisk, and did not manage to interfere with Mississippi's police chasing efforts, as well as Police Interceptor, who was able to swerve around that just fine. Yes, at this point, it's essentially a 1v1, ladies and gentlemen, to figure out which one is the best competitor. Oh, the runner's spinning out, though. He doesn't...
Oh, gets hit by Mississippi.
Gets hit by Mississippi, ladies and gentlemen, but he is still going. Police Interceptor flips over to try and hit the runner. That was a nice barrel roll on his end. Mississippi hitting the runner as well. These two are locked in vicious combat for that 8th place. For that 8th point, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like they're going to possibly be doing it together unless the runner can manage to get out of here. The runner does manage to get out. That was a very nice play from both of these cars, but Mississippi will be moving ahead to continue the chase, and Police Interceptor is going to be trying to catch up in whatever way he can. He's going back? Possibly?
No, looks like he's just trying to turn around.
Police Interceptor having a bit of an interesting time trying to turn around. Meanwhile, the shadow...
Oh, we got roadblock right here.
Here's Fairhaven up in the front. If he just moves forward, he'll be able to try to seize that point. Mississippi takes a pit maneuver and gaps the contact on the runner, but he is now forward, and there's Transit Police parked at the start for some reason. Transit Police could literally just take this round, and Police Interceptor looks like he's all set up for a head-on. Will he hit the head-on collision? He missed the head-on collision, ladies and gentlemen. The runner is still going. There's a pile-up back there next to Fairhaven. Transit Police only needs to move like an inch to the left in order to be fine. Transit Police is... There we go. The AI is back with Transit Police. Don't know what was happening with them, but Transit Police is now back in this game.
Do you believe any of the cards deserve a reset?
Mississippi and Transit Police are now battling for first, and yet, Police Interceptor breaks out of that particular trouble as well, and I do believe, to answer your question, some cars deserve a reset. School Safety deserves a reset. Okay. Undercover in Detroit deserve a reset. There you go. Where's Belasco, too? Belasco deserves a reset. There you go. Alright, well, they're inside each other. That's marvelous. So yes, a few cars have now been reset in order for some fairness to take place. How are things going over at the run, ladies and gentlemen? He is rounding out the long straight, the opposite direction. Transit Police is now in the first place position, trying to battle to get another point for himself and put himself in the front of that running. But just behind him are the fierce competitors, the Mississippi and Police Interceptor. And I believe there's a fourth car just behind them as well. I'm not completely sure who it is. I think it's School Safety. Transit is going to get some contact here. Looks like Transit is going to get some contact here. It's a good opportunity for a pit. Textbook pit coming in from Transit Police over here on the cliff turn, trying to stop that runner. Transit Police running the runner off the road. He runs the runner off the road into the trees. That was a bit of a Police Interceptor crashes. Mississippi has arrived on the scene, ladies and gentlemen. That was a textbook runoff from Transit Police, and that was a very nice play from him here, going with the pit opportunity, and the runner is now in the trees, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I find it really interesting that Transit Police has been sitting still for like most of this round, and then in the end got respawned and took out the runner.
That is true, yes. Transit Police was just chilling in their car eating some donuts, and then finally someone slapped them and said, hey, you're in the middle of a tournament, and as a result, Transit Police was able to win it with a textbook skid and a textbook pit maneuver, ladies and gentlemen. That was a beautiful piece of police chasing strategy, if I've ever seen it, ladies and gentlemen.
And now we would check on the other competitors.
Indeed, yes. Mississippi and Police Interceptor fought hard, but they unfortunately were not able to get the point because it was stolen from them by Transit Police. Very good efforts from their end, but unfortunately it was just not enough, especially considering the kind of spooky round we've had here, ladies and gentlemen. School Safety had a really bad and a really unlucky first round. He was, however, able to stay in it for as long as he could, and then he did earn himself a reset in order to eventually reach the scene of the final accident. Farragut City, the underdog, did the same. He fought as hard as he could. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough for him. However, that's kind of something he's used to at this point. Fairhaven usually gives it his all, but it doesn't always equate to a point. Belasco City as well has managed to arrive at the scene of the accident. Unfortunately, no points for him. Didn't manage to do much in this, but on the bright side, he did manage to arrive, and that is very commendable. As for our other competitors, where is Nypd Undercover and where is Detroit? Oh, here's Detroit. They've actually been up that entire time. Not sure what they've actually been doing, but yeah, even though the round is over, they've actually just been like active this whole time, just trying to reach the scene of the accident. Oh, banks off the cliff turn, trying to go for some style points, achieve some style points, and well done to Detroit acquiring some style points as he reaches the scene of the accident.
You know, I think Detroit's like gotten a lot of style points, you know, with taking down the shipping container and now like flying into sideways onto
At this point, Detroit is in it for the memes, ladies and gentlemen. His wallpaper on the side of his car is like a freaking piece of artwork. It's a spectacle, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like he wants to be a spectacle himself to live up to his livery's name. Meanwhile, Nypd Undercover just appears to have a blown engine, actually. It looks like he was trying, but just something happened with his engine.
And I think those are all of the cars.
That's it for all of the cars, yeah.
So Transit Police will be getting the point for round 25, and now we will reset and move on to the next round.
And here we are for the lineup of round number 26, ladies and gentlemen. In the first place position with 7 points, tied for first, is the Mississippi State Trooper car, sporting a very nice blue light bar, very nice blue color scheme, and also a very nice fighting spirit. Has kind of been in the Police Interceptor's shadow for this entire tournament, but now that he's finally breaking out and tasting that victory, he is in it to win it, and he will stop at nothing in order to get it, as evidenced by all of the battles that he engaged with Police Interceptor in that last round. And speaking of Police Interceptor, in the second place position, we have none other than Police Interceptor, our former leader of this, but now is having his position challenged by Mississippi State Trooper. He was able to stay on that pedestal for so long and dominate the competition, as well as kind of fly under the radar in a couple of episodes, but overall just kind of hold that first place position for himself for a while. But now Mississippi is coming up and trying to catch him with that, and now he is going to have to work a lot harder and engage in a lot more battles as well as use all of the wit and skill that he has in his belt in order to keep that leaderboard position. In the third place position, we have our underdog. We have our underdog, Fairhaven City with 4 points. Has a lot of ground to make up, but given that third place lineup position and a lot of his fighting spirit, I personally believe that he has a solid chance of catching up to the fierce competition as well. I mean, he has already proved that he's got what it takes. He's just having hard times applying it in this particular tournament. He has a lot of bad times. Has a lot of bad times, but he is overall still a very fierce competitor. Just doesn't have the point standings right now to show it. In the fourth place position, we have Bad Luck Incarnate, so move over Black Cat. It's time for Black Car. We have NYPD School Safety. Hailing from the city of New York, despite having one of the sickest light bars in the world, he has unfortunately not been able to score a point in that first round. However, it is certainly possible that he is just biding his time, or perhaps he just had like beginner's unluck, which is not a word, and perhaps possibly maybe even with the help of some of his New York potential teammates, he could find a way to put himself on the board and get some points here in this tournament. In the fifth place position, our champion of the last round, we have Transit Police with 6 points, is now moving ahead in that leaderboard and is actually threatening the balance of power in the first place position. Mississippi and Police Interceptor have been battling each other for a couple of episodes now, but the last thing they may have expected is Transit Police to finally make that comeback and make a name for himself, because if Transit Police can win themselves another point here in this round, then they will create a three-way tie for first, and that would be a spectacle of police chasing competition, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think about that, my friend Devion?
I think it's going to be great now that we have competition in the lead. It's not just the first two cars always getting the points.
I fully agree. The first two cars have dominated that battle and have been fighting each other for that position, for that first place champion position, but it looks like Transit Police is going to be moving in to try and catch up to them and contest those positions. It will definitely make for quite the spectacle and quite the competition, ladies and gentlemen, because after all, there can only be one Grand Marshal crowned as the champion. And speaking of Grand Marshals, we have in the sixth place position the NYPD Undercover Taxi, still trying to use that stealth to his advantage, unfortunately not able to. However, with all of his potential impromptu teammates that he could potentially get in Transit Police and School Safety, I believe that with some cunning and with some stealth, with some tactics, and with some strategy, he definitely has a chance to put himself on the board and make a name for himself in the face of some of the stronger competitors. In the seventh place position, we have Detroit Police, hailing from the city of Detroit, Michigan, going kind of more for style points in a few of these games. Definitely a bit of a fan favorite with 3 points, despite the fact that he is getting pretty close to Fairhaven City's spot, which I believe is third place in the point standings. Despite the fact that he is getting close to contesting third place, he also seems to be in it for the style just as much as the points, ladies and gentlemen. If he manages to pull off something here, he will be able to seize that third place position and contest Fairhaven for that underdog position and that underdog status. And finally, we have Belasco City, well, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. In any event, that will be it for the lineup. Start your engines, activate your sirens, turn on your lights, and fasten your seatbelts, because round number 26 is about to begin. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi and Police Interceptor, the absolute giants here in this game, battling for first, followed by Fairhaven in the third position. School Safety with the sick light bar. Belasco having himself an interesting time in the back. Transit Police moves ahead as well, trying to seize that final point. NYPD Undercover moving ahead as well, and here's Detroit. Here's Detroit rounding out the lineup, and it looks like Belasco is having himself a bit of a problem over in the back. Not sure what's happening with Belasco there, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe he's trying a different strategy we haven't seen before.
That is entirely true. Here's the cinematic corner. Looks like Fairhaven will be having himself a bit of a skid. He is going a bit high, going a bit wide. He's okay, though. School Safety moving ahead in the fourth place position. Transit Police going just fine. It looks like Detroit's trying to contest that position as well. Belasco catching up. Looks like he had himself a bit of a problem. Looks like he wanted to try going for a head-on strategy, but in the end decided not to do so because it was too risky. That does sometimes happen here, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like we're going to be having a quiet opening to this round. Not a lot has happened. The cinematic corner hasn't even garnered hasn't even given us some position changes. That's a bit of a rarity. Wouldn't you agree, Devion?
Yeah, normally in the cinematic corner, people spin out and sometimes even catch the runner there.
That is true. Who could forget the round in which Fairhaven City was able to catch the runner at the cinematic corner? That is quite possibly the fastest round we've ever seen, ladies and gentlemen. School safety going up to the mountain. Same with Transit Police. Hits the rock. Changes his mind at the last second, though, and hits the rock. Undercover spinning out as well. Transit Police is now going to be having a bit of damage. That will not possibly... Detroit moves ahead as well. School safety losing plenty of positions. Anyway, what I was going to say is that Transit Police's damage will definitely not make it easy for him to seize that 7th point here in this round. As the runner reaches the cliff turn, school safety is struggling to catch up. Transit Police trying to regain the ground he lost. NYPD Undercover just infinitely reversing. Yeah, these cars are not having the best time here, ladies and gentlemen, as school safety moves ahead right up there. Oh, NYPD Undercover no longer has his bumper. Alrighty.
Looks like Transit Police wrecked again.
Transit Police in the force now as well. What is going on with Transit Police?
Maybe he's intentionally wrecking himself so he gets a reset and gets a head-on collision.
Potentially true. Transit Police could be playing the game or gaming the system, you could say. One of them, very unorthodox strategy and also a very big risk because especially now that we are on to him, it is unlikely that we will actually give him that reset. The runner now moving along the beach turn. Mississippi breaks as well. Police Interceptor gets the break as well. Fairhaven too. Fairhaven is now getting pretty close here. Never mind, I lied. Fairhaven is now on the beach once again. Unfortunate for him. Manages to kind of possibly save it. All he needs to do now is just turn and get back on the road, and he will be all set as long as he doesn't hit those rocks like he did last round. Please don't hit those rocks. Gosh dang it, Fairhaven. Why would you do that? Well, Fairhaven, despite losing his bumper, is now back on the road and back in this game in the 3rd place position. School safety is now just in a forest somewhere. That's a bit unfortunate for him. It's actually at the long straight. Transit Police is now... What is Transit? Is this the long straight? Long straight. It looks like Transit Police having a bit of a problem at the long straight as well.
Maybe he's trying to set up a roadblock.
Could be trying to set up a roadblock. I don't know how that will actually give him a point, though. Belasco having a problem at the beach turn as well. And the runner is now reaching. Police Interceptor spins out at the cinematic corner as well. The runner now reaching the bus turn once again. It looks like Mississippi is going to be uncontested at this point, unless some of the other competitors can actually reach that area.
It looks like Belasco's stuck on the rocks.
Belasco's stuck on the rocks indeed. Detroit is somewhere in the forest as well. Very interesting round here, ladies and gentlemen. There goes Mississippi rounding out the beach turn. So what I'm thinking here is that if these cars can stay in the game and if the runner can evade Mississippi for long enough, that could allow an underdog such as Belasco to acquire themselves a head-on collision. However, Mississippi is definitely gaining ground here on the runner. I don't know if Mississippi is going to slow down. They may be getting contact. Yep, contact is being made here. Mississippi trying to spin out the runner, get him into the ditch. Will unfortunately not maybe accomplish anything. So yeah, the runner's now moving forward. Here's Police Interceptor. Police Interceptor bumps the runner. So yeah, the runner is still going though. These two once again battling for that 1st place position. Who is right here though? It is Fairhaven City, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fairhaven City. It's time to shine. If he can get that head on, he gets the head on just about. He kind of clips the side of the runner. But however, I will count it, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like if the runner is stopped, and it definitely doesn't appear to be, it looks like Fairhaven will come out of nowhere. As well as NYPD Undercover, who is moving in again. He could get himself a hit as well, but it looks like the runner is stopped. Yes, evidence by Undercover stopping his car, and here's Police Interceptor as well. Looks like Fairhaven City will actually be the one to come out on top on that round, taking advantage of the fierce competition between Police Interceptor and Mississippi in order to seize himself another point for himself. Well done to Fairhaven, once again proving that underdog spirit can achieve great things here in this game.
I feel like Police Interceptor and Mississippi are kind of like setting up the runner to get head-on collision by like the cars in the back.
Yes, indeed. As Belasco City rolls up to the scene of the accident, Police Interceptor and Mississippi have been fiercely battling it out for that 1st place position for a couple of rounds now. But at the same time, they have to be realizing at this point that their competition is being allowed to seize some points for themselves as they do this. That was, you could say, absolutely, these two spun the run around and allowed Fairhaven to seize that head-on collision.
Yeah, and looks like Fairhaven will be getting the point, and we'll focus now on the other competitors.
Fairhaven City has been awarded his 5th point in this game, indeed. NYPD Undercover is still up, same with Belasco City, and they were able to reach the scene of the accident at the end of the round. There are 5 cars here, which means 3 cars. Don't tell me, Detroit Transit Police, and Hold on, let me think. Detroit Transit Police and School Safety were the cars that were not able to reach here. Detroit is in the forest, meanwhile, over at these forest turns, so that's nice for him. Oh right, yeah, Transit Police was on the long straight. Yeah, Transit Police was just trying to be a roadblock. Don't know what he was planning here. He's got 6 points. He's got that potential to reach the first place and shake up that tie. But there were some really weird strategies, and I don't think that strategy paid out for him. Meanwhile, the real question is now, where is School Safety, our final competitor? Right, they got busted at the long straight. Bit unfortunate for them, yes. Definitely having themselves a few bad luck rounds. However, that light bar does look sick. Look at that light bar. Look at those lighting effects. It's nice.
Yes, and with all the cars gone over with, we will now reset and move on to the final round of this episode. Okay, now all the cars have been reset, and I honestly think that Mississippi and Interceptor have been like kind of just ruining their own chances to get a point here, because they keep spinning out the runner and hitting him, obviously, but it seems to be the other cars that are getting the points here.
I fully agree, my friend Devion. These two are battling it out for first, but they have got to be realizing, like I said, at this point, that if they continue to do that without focusing on their rear view mirrors, then they could potentially give up that first place position to someone like Transit Police, who has been achieving quite a fair amount in the past few episodes, and could actually, if he manages to win round number 27, could actually manage to create a three-way tie for first, and that would be a spectacle of competition, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Transit Police is definitely going to be a major threat to Police Interceptor and Mississippi here in this game, especially, like I said, if he manages to win round 27. And on that note, who do you think has a good chance of winning round number 27? Who has brought the fiercest fire in this episode? What do you think, Devgon?
Well, it's definitely not School Safety, because he's been just like screwing himself up the entire time by crashing everywhere.
But, School Safety obviously did not take a school safety course in police chasing, so that could be a bit of a problem for his chances of winning this tournament.
Honestly, I think it might be I kind of want Transit Police so we get a three-way tie for a lead. It'll be really interesting.
I fully agree, and that is not just because I've kind of sort of had a little tiny bit of a bias for Transit Police because I really like their design, but yes, if Transit Police manages to seize another point in round 27, then that would be an incredible three-way tie, ladies and gentlemen. That would be definitely a very incredible piece of police chasing, honestly, you could say history, in a way. Because, yeah, three-way tie for first, as soon as someone breaks it, that would be absolutely nuts. Essentially, this tournament is heating up a lot, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly, I think Belasco City hasn't been doing much, and we will have to eliminate a card at the end of this episode. So
I fully agree. This is the round for a card to be eliminated, and I think if we can prejudge a little bit, Belasco City, despite having some underdog spirit, despite doing some good stuff, essentially the joke is Belasco City does everything but win. He created a roadblock in round 17. He has hit and pit the runner several times, but has never managed to stop the runner, except like once, I think. And that we didn't even see it. That was with Mississippi. That was like the last episode, I think. Belasco City also has a point from that one round where we gave everyone a point. So yeah, Belasco City just manages to do everything except win. It's just, they're like a good competitor. They just do everything except win. So yes, I believe that if Belasco isn't able to pull out something here, I mean, if they fight, even if they don't win, if they fight, I'd be willing to, like give them maybe 1, 2, possibly more chances. I don't know. I'm thinking if we prejudge, I would say Belasco City is on the board for elimination, considering they've just managed to do everything except win. But if not that, then I'm thinking maybe NYPD Undercover. What do you think about? No, not Detroit. Detroit has 3 points in style. I'm thinking maybe NYPD Undercover. It's been an episode or two. I know they're new here, but at the same time, they didn't really manage to get themselves a point, and that is unfortunate for them. What do you think, my friend Devion?
I've noticed that the previous couple episodes, we've been just eliminating cards in the second episode because they haven't really gotten any points out of it. So I don't want to do that at the moment.
I fully agree, my friend Devion. A lot of people are looking to see some new faces in this game, and I actually have considered that myself. Half of these cars have been here since the beginning of the tournament, and the other half have been rotated out repeatedly in this game. So I believe there is definitely something that should be done here. I'm thinking maybe Belasco is on the board for elimination here, unfortunately, despite the fact that it's been freaking 27 rounds. And I don't know. If they do really well, maybe I'll reconsider it. But if not, then it looks like they're going to be out here in this game.
All right, and with all the cars gone through with, we will now start round number 27.
Indeed, yes. Activate your sirens, turn on your light. Oh, wait. Okay. Well, round number 20. No, that's fine. Keep going. Round number 27 is going, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 27 is now going, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like this will be a make it or break it moment for Belasco City fans. Looks like they're going to be really hoping for a miracle here today if they want Belasco to stay in this tournament.
Residents of Belasco City are now standing on their feet, cheering for their hometown hero.
This is actually a major event in Belasco City, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone is out on the streets. The bars are packed. The stadiums are packed, even though it's like located somewhere. I don't know. The point is, all of Belasco City is probably watching and cheering on Belasco City, the police car itself, really hoping that they'll manage to take something in this position. Looks like school safety grabs himself. Actually, he's fourth anyway. Oh, Belasco, yep, there's Belasco. Possibly with that underdog spirit overtakes Detroit. He manages to seize himself that 7th place position. Don't know if it will allow him to get himself a point here in this game.
It looks like Fairhaven lost the front bumper.
Fairhaven lost the bumper, but that's fine. His dead weight. It makes him faster. Hot jokes. Mississippi and Police Interceptor in the 1st and 2nd place positions as usual. Fairhaven, the rookie. Well, I keep wanting to say rookie, but what I mean is underdog. Fairhaven, the underdog, in the 3rd place position, moving ahead to see what he can do. School Safety in the 4th place, trying to make do with what he can. To Transit in 5th as well. Belasco now moving ahead as well in still 7th, I believe. Yes. Belasco still in 7th, trying to make fans proud. Transit goes up the mountain again. Same with School Safety. Undercover too. Belasco with a bit of a spin, trying to take advantage of this potentially. School Safety goes over the rock. And Transit with a nice spin, though. Transit with a nice spin to move ahead. Look at that. You see that drift that Transit did while you were...
Yes, I did notice that. It was pretty cool, and he might get some style points for that, like Detroit.
That is true, yes. Transit Police manages to get some style points and stay ahead of School Safety. There's Detroit as well. Don't know where Belasco is. Belasco could be just behind School Safety up on the left, potentially, unless he crashed or went up the mountain. Either way, Transit Police got some style points as he made that spin. Gets around Belasco. Belasco actually made a lot of ground, but then loses it, unfortunately. And here's School Safety trying to contest that as well. So Transit Police has now seized the 4th place position here in this game. He's really in it to win it, ladies and gentlemen. He is really up to catch up to Mississippi and Police Interceptor, who, by the way, has gone a bit wide on that turn.
And coming up to the beach turn now, where most of the crashes happen, and let's see how it goes.
Indeed, yes, the beach turn is where a lot of things can happen here, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi Police Interceptor and Fairhaven are here, ladies and gentlemen. Fairhaven manages to get the turn finally after 2 rounds of not being able to do so. Where's Transit Police? Here's Transit Police. He's got a bit of ground to make up, but I certainly believe in him. Belasco is in 5th, ladies and gentlemen. I hear Belasco City erupting into cheer right now. School Safety moving ahead. Detroit as well in the, I believe, 6th and 7th place positions. And going through the town. So yes, Transit Police having a bit of a problem at the beach turn. That's unfortunate for him. And here's NYPD Undercover running on, I believe,
looks like we got wrecking the town.
What happened with Belasco? Belasco spins out at the gas station. That's a bit of a problem. Looks like he's a bit busted here. That is definitely problematic for him. But I think Transit Police is also having potentially a bit of a problem as we reach the cinematic corner. Yeah, Transit Police having a bit of a problem.
You know, with the mess at the town, we might actually have, like, a roadblock set up there.
That is true. There could be a bit of a roadblock. How are things going over at the town? NYPD Undercover overtakes Transit Police. Definitely problematic for Transit Police. Transit Police, despite being a very nice competitor, has unfortunately not managed to master that beach turn in 27 rounds.
And notice how Belasco City is on I believe the right side of the road where most of the drivers are when they come through the town.
I fully agree, yes. Belasco City, it looks like he was spun out. Could have been funny business from School Safety. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like something bad happened with Belasco. What do you think of how this game is going, my friend Dagon?
It's interesting because a lot of the people in the back are still driving around the track, which is surprising. And yeah, they might actually score a point.
I fully agree. It's definitely possible for them to score a point. And in addition, there is something on my mind, considering that this is potentially Belasco's last round, and everyone in the city of Belasco is pretty much biting their fingernails at this. Definitely nail biter, that is the phrase. I believe that if nothing happens with their roadblock, I believe that they should be given a reset out of fairness.
You know, normally at this point, most of the cars are wrecked, but it looks like we still got almost we actually got everyone running except for Belasco.
I agree. Belasco is the only one busted, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's still in the game. Undercover moving around that turn at the bottom of the incline. Transit Police as well. Looks like they're battling for that position. Transit Police, however, still in the back, unfortunately, and I really hope they don't go up the mountain again. Hopefully they will not do that. Please don't do that, Transit. Okay, thank you, Transit.
Oh, we're coming through a town again.
It looks like we're moving into the town. The runner is going to potentially reach Belasco. He moves over to the left, however, it is dodged. Belasco, Mississippi misses Belasco. Police 7 misses Belasco. Fairhaven misses Belasco. It looks like the runner will be spinning out here, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to hit him? Looks like no one will actually hit him. The top 3 competitors actually eliminate themselves. Now the runner is moving back towards Belasco.
So who's gonna come for the head-on collision?
Who is up in front for
it's
the
school safety?
It's school safety, ladies and gentlemen. School safety is now poised to get this round for himself if he can get that head on. He gets the head on, ladies and gentlemen, right next to the parking lot. Detroit with the smash just behind him, and here comes Mississippi 2. It is a triple team, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing end to a round. And it looks like the runner has been stopped by school safety, Detroit and Mississippi. In a bit of a three-way, well, time for that round.
Wow, what an amazing ending. Looks like the runner is basically deceased at this point. Now he's wrapped around the pole. And, yeah. Oh, here comes the Interceptor.
Yeah, he used to run, but now he's done. And here's the police interceptor as well as Nypd Undercover. Transit police I spotted in the background coming in as well to the left. There they are. They'll figure it out. Or not. Oh, what happened to them? Well, they're close enough. They're kind of close. You can see it in the background. Close enough. Yeah, it looks like that will actually be given to school safety. What an end to a round. Round 27 goes to school safety with an excellent head-on. So school safety definitely won that round, I would say. But the real question here is, do we also award a point to Detroit and maybe Mississippi?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe Detroit actually deserves a point for that, because he's the reason why they're wrapped around the pole right now.
I fully agree. School safety and Detroit definitely were able to seize that round. I'm not sure about Mississippi, though.
About Mississippi, technically it's not that hard to hit a stationary target, which the runner was at the time.
It's not very hard. And it looks like the word is back from our judges. It looks like Mississippi will not be awarded a point, but school safety is now on the board. And Detroit has now been awarded a 4th point, meaning he is catching up to that 3rd place position currently owned by Fairhaven. Detroit is now actually climbing through the ranks, so well done to him. And I don't really think there's all too much more to say. Yes, school safety and Detroit with some amazing plays right there at the end of the round. The runner is now sandwiched in front of some guy's shop as a result.
And yeah, school safety gets a point in his first episode, which is pretty nice to see.
Definitely very nice to see. It's not extremely often that we see cars manage to do that, but school safety in his debut episode does acquire himself a point, and he is now on the board, ladies and gentlemen, looking to climb his way up to the top.
And now we will focus on the other competitors. Interceptor showed up, but like at the same time, it's not hard to hit a stationary target.
Police Interceptor doesn't even have any damage, so he parked. He parked up. He doesn't have damage. Look at the front. A little bit, but not enough to indicate he hit something. Mississippi, like you said, it's not hard to hit stationary targets. School safety won the round. Detroit, with the absolute smash, also won the round. NYPD Undercover arrived. Transit Police had himself not really the greatest time in the world, but you know, still got close. Still definitely a fierce competitor, even though the cards weren't in it for him. Which leaves Belasco and someone else. Belasco just got absolutely ruined this game. I don't even know. Belasco reached 5th place, and then a wreck happened, maybe by school safety, or maybe by I don't know. And then they just lost the tire, and they ended up being nothing more than a roadblock. So I don't know. It's almost tragic for Belasco. So I don't know about that course of action, ladies and gentlemen. There's one more car. I don't know who it is. Who is that? Oh, it's Fairhaven, right, Fairhaven. I forgot about Fairhaven. Yeah, so they got a bit ruined at the beach turn. Unfortunate for them, but, you know, they do have 5 points, so, yeah, you know, it happens. And he's still steering down as well.
So here comes the point where we have to eliminate a car from this tournament, and I think we already got an answer here.
I'm going to actually scream, because even though I said repeatedly that we're going to eliminate Belasco, doesn't it kind of feel like they were cheated out of a proper last chance?
Because they're already damaged coming into a town, and he kind of just caught in the pole himself, or whatever he hit.
Are you sure about that? I feel like we should review the tape.
I did review the tape, because I was here during the time it happened.
That is true, yes. I don't know, personally, I don't know. Personally, I wanted to say that this was Belasco's last chance, but that wasn't really much of a dignified last chance, you could say. I
But
almost feel like they're.
who would you like to eliminate then? Because like
I know there's no one else, but at the same time, like for frick's sake, I hate doing this.
there's no one else to eliminate because Transit is coming up to the lead. Detroit absolutely destroyed the runner. NYPD school safety first round also destroyed the runner.
NYPD Undercover just got here, so I don't know.
He got here, but at the same time he stayed alive.
I meant in the tournament he just got here. He got in here last episode, so I don't know.
Yeah, um but in the end, Belasco was the only car that was not running when everyone else was running. And we
It's
skip.
true, but at the same time, I feel like he got screwed over by his competition. It's like they knew he was out and they were gonna eliminate him. I don't know.
Well, you can't get screwed over if his car was already damaged and he kind of wrecked himself out.
He did manage to reach the fifth point. It was a bit damaged already. I don't know. You really want to let riots erupt in Belasco City?
Yeah, because then you have riots in like New York if you have Undercover being
What
eliminated.
about NYPD Auxiliary from the first couple of episodes? What about then?
But at the same time, we did spare Belasco way too many times during the first couple episodes.
I know. On one hand, it's been 27 rounds. They've been here since the beginning. They haven't really won a single round. At the same time, I feel like that wasn't. I feel like that wasn't the send-off round that they deserved. That's kind of what I'm getting at here.
Well, unfortunately, this is a competition and not scripted, so that
True,
stuff like
yeah.
that happens.
True, yes. It looks like, unfortunately, the word is back from our judges. They've been here for 27 rounds, but like I said, they haven't done anything. Well, they've done a lot, except they just haven't, won. They did everything except one. They were a roadblock. Oh man, I can already hear the freaking meme videos of Belasco clips with sad music already. I can already hear the montages. I can also already hear the fires in the war zone that Belasco City has now just become. But yes, word is back from our judges. I wanted to give them an extra round to give them a better send-off, but unfortunately that will not be the case here in this game. And it looks like, unfortunately, after all the work they tried to put in, it looks like Belasco City has been eliminated from this tournament.
So that will conclude this episode, and this is me, Devion, the commentator, and UsernameHere, the co-commentator, and we will be signing off and seeing you in the next episode.